Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a hot take on Nancy Pelosi, who has been re-elected as House Speaker in a tight vote. It was tight, I guess that's better. 216 to 209. It could have gone against her, but only 5 Democrats defected. Representative Slotkin, Representative Spanberger, Representative Sherrill of New Jersey represent, voted present. Two Democrats voted for candidates other than Pelosi. Connor Lamb, Hakeem Jeffries, Jared Golden voted for Senator Tammy Duckworth, who I don't know would have been any better. But you'll notice the squad fell right in line. Yeah, they're so progressive and revolutionary. They vote for an establishment hack like Pelosi, who's been in Congress forever and runs the show. Guess you'll be doing her bidding now, oh revolutionary squad. Guess you won't be getting that Medicare for all anytime soon. But it's not all bad for the people on the left. Where the heck is it now? Oh, yeah, here it is. Nancy Pelosi bans gender terms like mother, daughter, father, son, and house rules. Oh boy. You won't be getting Medicare for all, but at least you can sound woke. At least you can police language on the floor of Congress. Won't that be fun? Won't that be fun? Saying, oh, don't say mother. Don't say daughter. Whoa, what are you doing? Oh, I'm triggered. Won't that make everything better on C-SPAN? C-SPAN's going to be a riot. It's going to be a damn riot. From CD Media, a team of small investigators spun off from the efforts of Rudy Giuliani to investigate House elections, which is interesting. Supposedly, CD Media will have more on this. They claim they've got some evidence. And the publicly available analysis by Bobby Pinton. Analytical sources have informed CD Media that 6 to 9 races in California alone are, I can't say that on YouTube, but they are, let's say, looking at them. And here's what Bobby Pinton posts on Facebook. What are the odds? The most important state for the flow of goods for the people into the U.S., Arizona. For the flow of goods from people from Europe, PA, 3 key ports. For the flow of goods from South America, Georgia. For the flow of goods from Canada, Michigan. For the flow of goods into the heartland, Wisconsin. Well, that's interesting. I never knew that. I mean, you'd think some of the South American goods would come into Florida, right? Texas, maybe. And for Europe, what about New Jersey? I mean, I'm sure they go right into Philly. What about New York? What about any of the other ports? I don't know if that's all true, but it is kind of an Arizona flow of goods and people into the U.S. in Arizona, just Arizona. Seems like there'd be other places too, but he may be drawing lines that don't exist. But CD Media apparently is going to have some more intel, so keep an eye out for that. CD Media has so far been relatively reliable. I haven't had a problem with that. Then I was looking up a little bit about the connection. I had said a few days ago that Pelosi might be better as president than Biden. At least she wouldn't be totally senile and compromised by China. And then a few people in the comment section said, oh, no, she's compromised by China. So I started poking around on the internet a little bit. Husband Paul Pelosi, according to Real Clear Politics, has done a series of deals in mainland China and are part of the fact that Chinese are trying to curry favor high-ranking politicians in the United States. Well, I really couldn't find anything directly about China, but definitely I think these people are double dipping. Here, Nancy Pelosi's husband amongst lawmakers linked to PPP loan recipients, and that was supposed to be, my understanding is the Paycheck Protection Program, is to keep people getting some money during these tough times, and this was connected to businesses that the Pelosi's hold interest in. So there's that, and then looking at heavy. Where the heck is it now? Did I just delete that? Oh man, I think I just did. Hold on a sec. Hold on. Yeah, here it is. How did that happen? 5 facts you need to know from Heavy. Number 1, he owns a San Francisco investment firm. So it makes sense that he might have some investments in China. And he's probably got his money all around the world. Nancy and Paul's Vineland in California is worth somewhere between $5 and $25 million. In 2014, Nancy reported between $43.4 million and $202 million in assets. So these two are loaded. I mean, they're loaded. Come on, when you're worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Paul's invested in Apple, Disney, and Facebook, all super woke. And he and Nancy have participated in many initial public offerings. That's how they got so rich. It was legal to do insider trading in Congress for a long time. I forget when the exact year they finally passed a rule that said you couldn't do that. But they didn't have any problem doing that back in the day. This is why people go to Congress. They get rich. They go in not rich, and they come out very rich. And they stay there, because why not? You don't work that much. Your life is amazing. And all you have to do is put up with some reporters kind of bothering you, but not really. I mean, you just got to play this weird game of back and forth. Pretend you hate the Republicans or pretend you hate the Democrats. Put on a dog and pony show, and then you go home to all your money. What's not to like? You own a vineyard, you got hundreds of millions of dollars, you're eating $100 ice cream from a $24,000 refrigerator. Who wouldn't like that life? Paul says he tries to maintain a low profile, but frequently stands in for Nancy at fundraisers. Well, yeah, why not? She's cranking up the info. You invest money, and she had insider information. So, I mean, it's a perfect little scam you guys got going. You got 5 kids with Nancy, so they got even more kids to funnel money into. Where is it? Yeah. So this is one Gateway Pundit. Pelosi's son, Paul Jr., was paid thousands by same firm that paid the Clintons millions. He got $180K for like a no-show job, according to this article. Yeah, shortly after his mother, Nancy, became the first woman speaker, Paul Pelosi Jr. was hired by Info USA for $180K a year as its vice president for strategic planning in 2007. Pelosi kept his other full-time day job as a mortgage loan officer for Countryside Loan in California, and unlike the other Info USA employees, Paul Pelosi did not report to work at the company's headquarters in Omaha. I mean, isn't that sweet? Oh, we're going to hire you. Do I have to show up for work? No. We'll just be sending you checks. I mean, it's a shakedown. It has to be. What the hell else would it be? Why would you hire this guy? And he never reports to work? What the hell does he do? Nothing, as far as I can see. The firm of Info USA, headed by Major Clinton backer Vinod Gupta, has placed Pelosi's son, Paul Pelosi Jr., on its payroll, even though he has no experience in the company's main business activities, Newsmax has learned. Newsmax previously reported Info USA has been rented marketing databases to unscrupulous persons who used the information to defraud the unsuspecting elderly, investigators found. The company is also under fire in a shareholder lawsuit, which alleges that Gupta is appropriating company funds for personal use for his political pet projects. Oh boy. Shareholder critics are furious at Gupta, who had InfoUSA pay former President Bill Clinton $2.1 million in consulting fees, quote unquote, since he left the White House, and another $1.2 million promised. Pelosi's son Paul acknowledged he has also been taking trips on the corporate jets provided by InfoUSA. Jesus! In just 4 weeks after Nancy Pelosi became Speaker of the House this past January, Gupta and InfoUSA hired their son as a senior vice president. He told Newsmax InfoUSA pays him $180K a year. Even though his job with InfoUSA is considered full-time, Paul Pelosi continues another full-time job as a home loan officer at Countrywide Home Loans, part of Countrywide Financial in San Mateo, a suburb of San Francisco, while InfoUSA is based in Omaha. Pelosi said he reports to a small InfoUSA office in San Mateo. Oh, okay. So maybe he does make at least an appearance. In two interviews, Paul Pelosi confirmed Gupta hired him as the senior vice president for strategic development starting February 1st, just after Pelosi's mother took the gavel as speaker on January 4th. He said his mother is aware of the new job. A person familiar with the arrangement says Gupta treats Pelosi as a trophy and has the speaker's son accompany him at high-profile meetings around the country. Pelosi denied the suggestion he is being used because of his family ties. I don't think that's really what happens, he says. Oh yeah, that sounds realistic. Yeah, and I'm sure the guys in China wanted to talk to Hunter because he's such a on-the-ball businessman, when he's not banging hookers and smoking crack. Oh man, it's unbelievable. That's why these people do this. This is why you have 5 kids, I guess, when you're rocking Congress. Ooh, the more kids I have, the more money we can steal. I mean, look at Biden. He's doing the same damn thing. You funnel the money through your family, and they ain't going to turn you in, because otherwise you all go down, right? And then it's so much harder to prosecute everybody. But it might be hard to throw your kid under the bus if you ever get caught badly enough, or if you ever get the wrong president. Would have loved to have seen Trump throw some of these idiots in jail, or at least their progeny. But this is what happens. I mean, I've always said this with rich people. They have kids, and they spoil them, most of them. Now, there's always a few exceptions, but, kids who grow up rich, they don't have to worry about certain things. They just don't. I had rich friends growing up in college, and we'd come back and like, oh, what'd you do over break? Oh, I worked, or nothing, or whatever. A rich kid would come back and be like, oh yeah, I went to Tijuana, I went to Europe, and we'd be like, what? And it's not to say people shouldn't enjoy their money or let their kids enjoy the money, but you have to keep them in check. You have to. You can't just keep giving them money. It's bad for people. It's bad for people to just have lots of money. I mean, you don't want them to starve. They're sick or they're in trouble. Of course you help them, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about pouring money on a guy like Hunter Biden. And Hunter Biden, the money, what good has the money done him? What good has all that money and power done him? Nothing. He's divorced from his wife. He's got kids. He shacked up with his brother's widow, cheated on her, got a kid with a stripper. He's a drug addict. He's being investigated finally by the FBI. It's like, dude, this guy is not benefiting from all this money and power. It's too much pressure for him. He shouldn't have it. If anything, he should not be doing this stuff. He should be a guy who should be sitting at home, I don't know, in rehab, exercising, trying to get some therapy. He shouldn't be out trying to conquer the world. My God, he's gonna. I really think Hunter Biden is doomed. I really do. I mean, what has he got left to look forward to at this point? I mean, and his dad ain't gonna help him. His dad's gonna be president, and maybe, God willing, maybe not. I think that's all I got for you. Yeah, but this isn't a good indication Pelosi's kids are any better. Not at all. Not at all. Um, it's more indication they're just propagating the corruption. And the worst part about it too is like, it's one thing to be kind of corrupt when you have no money. Okay, that I don't necessarily condone it, but I kind of understand it. Like if you're not rich, or you're middle class and you want to be rich, of course everybody wants some money, and then you fight and you get that. But then now what you've done is you've created another generation of people who are already rich who are as corrupt as you. That's the problem. They look at you and like, well, you're totally corrupt. Why would we're worth $100 million? Why don't I want $1 billion? Why don't I want $1 trillion? Like, it's never enough. Okay? So if you've earned your money that way, yes, you've given your family great comfort and a name, but you've kind of destroyed them inside. At least that's the way I feel about it. I mean, I've known spoiled kids who are barely middle class, but I can't imagine when you're worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, why even go to work? Like, how much longer is Nancy Pelosi going to live? Why would she go to work? Why not just go to a beach somewhere and live the rest of your life and just do nothing? Like, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you just have fun nonstop? What? Is this really that fun? I guess it is. When you fight that long for this money, you know nothing else. It's kind of why I could never do it. You know, it just always thought in the back of my head, I saw other people, you know, and they turn around and it's like they spent their whole lives accumulating this money and then they're too old to enjoy it. You know, Nancy Pelosi she's really up there. Don't have a lot of time. Play with your grandkids. Go see the sights of the world. Stop ruining it for everybody else. But no, this is the life they know. This is who they are. And unfortunately, in my view, they're incredibly corrupt.